welcome to the first side project for hauling stuff into the property. So this was my homemade sled deck for my truck I had last year. Worked pretty good for being able to have 16-foot lumber on my trailer, and the sled up on the top of the box so that the tongue and all that would clear. Can't really run with the tailgate down, and the sled's thick and past that and tow a trailer, for most trailers anyway. So that worked pretty good. I could have gear under the sled deck, sled on it, and mainly the ramps under the sled deck, and then 16-foot beams on this trailer. All I really have to haul in is 2x material and 1 inch for lumber this year, and my outdoor shower I built. So I'm going to repurpose this because I have a new truck now that has a shorter box and a truck cap on it, so no snowmobile in the box. I don't know what exactly, if I get this over the axle and the scandic sitting on top of this, and I can pile lumber underneath. So I've already built 2-foot legs and some bracing and stuff that are going to bolt to the bottom of this, and then there's 4 turnbuckles that hold it down to the trailer, and I'll just use my arc ramp that I used to load in the bed of the truck. Load the scandic on this, and then I can load all the lumber underneath in the toboggan. This is wider than the opening between my homemade salt shield. If I wanted this to go as far forward as possible, I could leave it on probably all winter. I'd have a lot of tongue weight because this is like 250 pounds, and then the sled. But if I did that, I can, even when I'm not hauling long lumber, I can have the scandic or the backcountry sled up there, my Pelican tub underneath it, and then the other sled behind it, and I can go up with 2 sleds and the Pelican all on the trailer. But if I don't want to trim out 3 feet of this salt shield to only go to 2 feet of height, so that this will be able to go over top of it because it's going to stick out a little wider. I can either do that or trim the width of this, but if I ever get a long box truck again, I'd like to have it around just to set back on it, so I'd rather not trim that. But if I get it sitting in the center, just for when I'm hauling 16-foot material, it's just going to be 4 turnbuckles, maybe a safety ratchet strap or 2, and I can pick it off with the loader tractor here pretty easy. So if I do want to run up with 2 sleds to the property, I can just pull that off quick, run the 2 sleds on it, and I believe the Pelican will fit in the back of the truck. It is a 6.5 foot bed if I got to haul gear in behind the scandic when we're going in with the group. So I don't know, I'm just going to get it sitting up here, think about it for the night, maybe a little longer. Pinky, don't get on that, you crazy doggy. Yes. Reason for new truck is so these guys have a spot to go up to the property. Moose and Tank. Okay, don't knock this off the forks when you get down, big guy. They just turned a year. 2 days ago. 7 days ago. And this guy here is 125 pounds. His brother's a little lighter. Anyway, so I'm just going to set this on my makeshift cribbing here, and I'll be able to put the legs underneath it and do all the bracing so they're stable, and then I'll decide if I want to trim this and get it as far forward and leave it on for the whole winter, having the option to run 2 sleds or just 1 sled and building materials. We'll see. I'll also confirm that the Pelican actually fits in the back of the truck, because if I'm going up with both my sleds and the Pelican and I don't get this all the way forward, I'm going to have either the Pelican tipped on its side on the trailer or something, or across the salt shield, but it won't, we won't be able to have it loaded. I like it loaded and just being able to hook onto it with the sled and take it off the trailer. Are you posing for the camera? Thank you. Well, we'll set this up here and without tank on the load and think about it. Tanky, come on. Come on, Tank. Let's go. Come on. Come on down. Come on. Tanky, let's go. Tank. Tank, you want a stick? Come on. Hey, big guy. Get off the load. Come on. Let's go. No, not you two. Hey, follow your brother. Oh. So it's sitting on there now. Tomorrow I'll finish it after I think about it a bit. So basically, 4 legs on it, braced out. And there he has the big brackets. They'll be through both. That's all solid. 3 layers of 3/4 inch plywood, tongue and groove, all glue lammed and screwed. It's pretty sturdy. But if I have this here, which is 250 pounds on its own, and I am taking the Scandic on, and when it's loaded with all the tools and everything, it weighs a good chunk. I forget what it weighed empty, but we're talking probably 750 pounds. So you're 1,000 pounds, and then it'll be 1-inch boards underneath it, which are distributed evenly on this trailer. It's fairly lightweight, light duty trailer. Whereas if I get this over the axle, a little bias forward, and the sled on it, it'll tow nicer versus leaving this all the way forward. It's going to be all in front of the axle, so the load's going to be 250 pounds heavy on the front. I've already added, I don't know, maybe 50 pounds with the salt shield material that wasn't on the trailer when the axle was set along the chassis. And I'd have to cut that all up, which is a bunch of extra work. For how easy it is, once the legs are on and they're good and sturdy, for how easy it is just to pick it on and off with the forks. Now that it's sitting up there, I might just leave it here. I am going to confirm that the Pelican fits in the back of the truck though, just now. Hey Moose, can you get up there? Oh, good boy. So, this is the new setup here. We got truck cap and the liner and all that. So I built this out of stuff that was laying around here. So I always have a shovel with me. It's shoved into 1.5 inch ABS. And it's just clamped to the F-150 tie downs. And then I have my silky saw with the gear ties around it. And an axe, Velcro straps just in front of it. And then my old bicycle tire pump. Not exactly what I wanted in case I want to take this setup. So it's, well, whatever. A few inches too long. So as long as I keep everything out of it, I can get it there inside the cap. Unfortunately, I can't get the door latched, but it does just rest against the aluminum panel there. So I'll just be able to bungee it shut so it doesn't fly open. Not ideal. But I think it'll work for the odd time that I gotta get 2 sleds and the Pelican up there. Anyway, it's 30 now, but that's the truck. And that back seat, we have the hammock thing right down to the floor because these Fords have a flat floor. So the dogs have that whole back seat or the cap, depending on what the needs are for whatever trip we head out together. All right, so we're gonna finish up this project today. I am decided I'm just going to mount it over top of the axle, just a few inches bias forward, and turnbuckle it down to my D-rings that I moved that go to a cross member, not just the sheet metal on the sides like a lot of the tie downs that were on this trailer someone installed. I don't know if it's the proper place to use it, but in school in metrology class I learned about airy points, and that's where I'm deciding to place my uprights. So I'm just working on top now, but they'll be just to drill the holes, make it easier, and then I'll put them up and post them underneath. But basically the airy points were for precise measurement of bars or rods and stuff like that. They have to be supported in 2 spots so that the ends of the material will be parallel and avoids bowing and stuff like that. So meant for precise measurement, but structural integrity is something to prevent bow and all that. It's probably the same for when you load it up. That's my theory anyway. I'm sticking to it. So I did the calculation to find the airy points, and that's where they are inboard. Instead of putting the post right on either corner, you risk sagging in the center, and then if you had them too close, the ends would bow, especially since the ski placement's going to be about here, and the track is distributed over a lot of it. But that's what I decided, and then I got my width right so that it fits between all obstructions on the trailer. And then I'll have all this space in between, which is like 3.5 feet for stacking up material unobstructed all the way through. And then I just place these in the orientation that the tabs are inboard and outboard to maximize the rigidity this way, because I'm only going to have just some little wee gussets so I don't lose any carrying space underneath. Most of it's just going to be in this direction, 4 1/2, front back of the trailer. So I'm relying on these brackets to hold it from tilting side to side. And yes, I'm just going to drill 16 holes. I got galvanized hardware to bolt it down, and then I'm going to put a board on the bottom of these pressure treated board to tie the bottoms together, but only in this direction. So we'll get back at it. Well, there we go. It's up on stilts, so it'll still fit between the wheel wells. It's 47.5 inches, so it'll still slide into a pickup truck if it needs to be used as a sled deck on a pickup ever in the future. So it's got those 4x4 brackets. I miscounted my hardware, so I got to get 2 more for each of these 2. That's galvanized hardware. And then I got my 45s. I decided to do them outboard instead of inboard, so I have plenty of space for the pallet forks on the tractor. And then these are some leftover pressure treated 2x6s from a other job, and they're just, so it's pretty solid, and it'll sit on the trailer wherever I want. And then I'm going to reuse the turnbuckle hardware from when I had it mounted in my truck, and these were going to the tie downs within the truck. So the eye bolts clamp through the whole deck and give me tie downs on top for the sleds, and then I just have turnbuckles to go down. I might throw a jam nut on them so they don't loosen off. Unthread it and then thread one on. And instead of I used a few lengths of chain to connect the turnbuckle to the eye bolt. I'm probably gonna get, I think this is 5/16 thread. I'll get the female to female threaded adapters for like all threaded rod, and then I'll have it right in line instead of off camber like I had, or off to the side. That was a free option for last year, but we're just gonna get 4 of those, and then I'll be able to pull right in line with and I'll be able to put thread this right into it. Maybe I'll figure it out, but that's going to be the how we fasten it down to the trailer. But for now, winters in Canada are hard on things. and any steel that's on it's already rusted, and I just used whatever leftover black paint I had in the cabinet, and it peeled off the top side. So I'm going to repaint this, so I somehow get this in the garage because it's longer than the width of the door, so we're gonna have to shimmy it in. The forks aren't deep enough to carry it lengthwise without getting creative, so I'll probably just pivot it and skid it right at the door's edge and let it dry out for a few days, and this weekend put a fresh coat of paint on it, and then I'll be able to lift it on and off the trailer as needed. So I have all this space underneath to store 16-foot lengths, and the sled will be on top. Anyway, so I just set a ramp, my normal ramp, to get up this 2 feet and tilt the trailer up. We'll give that a test once it's all painted, but it shouldn't be an issue loading it. All right. So we gave her a fresh stain job, and we made up all the tie-down points using, all I had to pick up was a master link and that all-thread female nut and another eye bolt. So the whole point will be that gets sandwiched through the deck again and then down to the tie-downs on the trailer. We'll pick this up with the tractor and set it around and see how it looks. So just location on the trailer, I'm pretty happy with that. It's a little bit biased forward for some tongue weight, easy towing. But when I get all the lumber underneath and the weight of the sled, it's not too tongue heavy. This was an existing hole where I had the tie down, so this is the setup. As you can see, I just tried tightening a little bit, but it's just gonna bend things. So I'm gonna relocate where this goes through the deck and might pull straight down to the tie down, but it's just a jam nut there and there, so they can't come undone. Obviously pretty self-explanatory there. I put a jam nut on the turnbuckle so it can't loosen off, so there'll be 4 of those going to the tie downs that are right through the well, that's froze, right through the cross member. And I just checked out my long ramps, the placement, in case I have enough lumber under there that I can't take it all in one load. I don't want to have to offload all the material just to get the sled off if I was to use my short ramps. So I might be able to use my arc. We'll try it. It's a simpler ramp if I tilt the trailer up and then use the rev arc ramps, but if not, my long ramps work. I'm running out of daylight, and I'm going to get this video out for this weekend, so we're not going to see the sled up there yet until we get some more snow. We lost it all, and you'll see my final positioning of how this is all fastened down. But yeah, thanks again for watching Against the Grain Living. This is one of my side projects that'll get me through this year with the equipment that I have on hand now, just to keep hauling stuff north with the new truck setup. So we'll see you next week. Take care.